Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Just want to make sure the audio is working A-OK, and we're going to break down the forecast, what to expect in the tropics, air quality alert for today, and a lot going on in the San Antonio forecast for the next several days. So if you have any questions, let me know, but we're going to break down things and want to make sure my audio is working A-OK. Hopefully it is. Let's see what's happening, and let's see. It looks like it's working just fine. Good morning to Sonia and everyone. Perfect. Again, guys, feel free to ask any questions. We're going to break down everything this morning as we are live for the next 20 to 30 minutes, be answering your questions and all that good stuff. Okay, so Ozone Action Day. We have an air quality alert for the area, and you'll see every county that's labeled in gray, that's indicating a ozone action day. So with calm wind speeds, in addition to a lot of heat, temperatures in the 90s this afternoon, I do think that's going to build up a lot of ozone. So please, if you're sensitive to this kind of thing, if you have COPD, if you suffer from any labored breathing, asthma, things like that, high levels of ozone will make it difficult for some of these people out there. So avoid long durations of outside, otherwise pretty quiet, and a lot of heat expected today as highs rebound into the 90s. Matter of fact, take a look at this. The air quality is right now, these are current conditions across the region from, Laredo to San Antonio to Houston. These are indicating air quality alerts. And you'll notice that San Antonio is in unhealthy right now, and that's just in the morning hours. And the thing is, winds aren't going to get breezy much. I mean, they'll be at 5 to 15 miles per hour at most today. Now, with calm wind speeds and heat building up, that builds up low levels of ozone here in San Antonio, and specifically in cities, right? So Houston, you can see the current condition is at unhealthy. We're unhealthy for some sensitive groups. So again, if you suffer from COPD, emphysema, asthma, any type of labored breathing, you're going to want to just limit time outdoors later on today. So again, just keep that in mind. Otherwise, pretty quiet this afternoon, and this morning showing you a live look outside, and we're showing you temperatures in the 80s and 90s, and it's mostly cloudy out there this morning. And take a look, we have a mostly cloudy sky. We're at about, let's say, 84 at Stinson, 82 at the airport. We have an east-southeast wind at 11 miles an hour, and it's mostly cloudy, but the radar, it is quiet. You'll see that there is just not much out there, and temperature is obviously the big story. Now, earlier this week, we had a round of lower humidity and some cooler air, but now it feels a lot more comfortable. It did, and now you can notice there is a little bit more humidity out there. Matter of fact, take a look at this. Here are the current dew points. They're right around 70, which is indicating a very tropical atmosphere. 68 in Kerrville is the dew point, so that is the measure of moisture in the air, which is indicating very humid conditions. Earlier this week, we had dew points in the 50s. Now we have them in the 70s, so it's a pretty big transition from Monday to now. High temperatures in the lower to middle 90s this afternoon, 93 or so, partly cloudy. Again, ozone action day, high levels of ozone for San Antonio and surrounding communities as well, with an east-northeast breeze around 5 to 10, and that may switch actually out to the south later on today. So here are the rain chances laid out for you. They're not impressive, so please don't cancel plans over these rain chances, but you'll see pretty nice Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, at least for some isolated shower activity here in the South Texas area. Not a slam dunk by any means, but it's something to look forward to as rain will form near the Texas coast tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you're traveling down to Port A, maybe Rockport, Corpus Christi, there are going to be areas around the Texas coast between there and Galveston, Houston, that get a little bit more rainfall between tomorrow and Saturday. It's not going to be a slam dunk, but there's going to be rain out there near the coast, and some of those showers are going to drift closer to San Antonio by the weekend, starting tomorrow. And you'll see overall the pattern's pretty quiet. There is some rain out near Florida, some heavy downpours out near the northwest between Colorado and Montana. Otherwise, no huge storm systems out there. But what is out there is a couple of lows and a couple of highs. And this ridge of high pressure, primarily the one that's going to move over the southeast, over Atlanta, Georgia, Florida, that's going to move farther southeast, and that's going to funnel in a little bit more humidity our way towards the weekend. And what that is going to do is set up the stage for some coastal showers between tomorrow and Saturday. Is it going to be a lot? No. And matter of fact, we're forecasting only about 40 to 50% coverage between Baffin Bay and Houston and western Louisiana. It's really coastal areas that will see an increased coverage of rain later on this week. Now, again, as mentioned, some of those will drift closer to Victoria, towards Bexar County, I-35 and I-10. And we're only amounting and forecasting about 20% at some of those spotty downpours starting tomorrow and moving through the weekend. And let me show you how the models kind of paint it out. So today, if you have plans, if you're going to work, school, you know, the usual schedule. Today, highs in the 90s, sunny skies, partly cloudy. Not much happening in today's forecast. It's going to be quiet and the high levels of ozone, so please limit time outdoors if you're sensitive to that. If you have asthma, if you have labored breathing, if you have COPD, please limit time outdoors because of the high levels amounts of ozone this afternoon. Tonight, quiet, clear. Tomorrow morning, a little bit of cloud cover. And notice how starting tomorrow morning, you'll see a little bit of green on the map, right? Out near Port Lavaca, near Baffin Bay, near Bay City. That's where they're expecting a little bit of rainfall tomorrow morning. It's not going to be a lot, but notice the trend. Anywhere southeast of George West and Beeville, that's where rain is going to be a little bit more abundant near the Texas coast. So I do want to reiterate, if you are traveling towards the coast starting tomorrow or even through the weekend, there will be a little bit more rain around. It's not going to be a ton. It's just going to be some scattered downpours that could get heavy at times. But if you don't see rain, it's just going to be quiet near the coast. And then watch this. By tomorrow around 4 p.m., maybe one or two of them are going to move towards I-35. And as you can see, they're few and far between. It's not a lot. And most of us will say sunny and hot tomorrow and just quiet. But there will be a couple of areas and communities around Pearsall, Cotulla, Pleasanton, and San Antonio that could receive a localized downpour tomorrow afternoon. Again, I would say 80% of us are going to say sunny and hot and clear, but there will be a couple of those isolated showers around. And as more humidity surges in from the Gulf, same thing. So Friday morning, mostly cloudy, scattered rain near the coast, and some of them will try to make a run towards Seguin, Floresville, Pleasanton, and San Antonio. And they will be few and far between. And it looks like this particular forecast model is suggesting higher rain coverage east of 35 towards LaGrange, Gonzales, Hallettsville, Columbus, Houston, Galveston. So main rule of thumb for San Antonio and for outdoor plans going into the weekend, mostly sunny, hot with just a small outside chance at a straight isolated downpour. And you'll see as we move into Friday and Saturday, the coverage of rain will be more abundant towards Columbus, Hallettsville, LaGrange, and even towards Houston. And it's not going to be everywhere. And matter of fact, by each evening, late night, things quiet down. It's really primarily during the heating of the day we start to touch off more of those scattered showers because of hot air rising, lots of humidity, and a little bit of support from those two things can touch off some showers, especially near the Gulf of Mexico and along the Texas coast. So tropical weather outlook, we're in the peak of hurricane season. Matter of fact, the climatological peak was September 10th, or it's September 14th now, so we're still near that time of year where things can get busy. Matter of fact, look at this. This is the tropical weather outlook. There is no named storms out there. However, there is Tropical Depression 7, which formed as of the last update from the Hurricane Center. And right now, sustained winds are probably around 35 miles an hour. I do have a graphic on that, so give me 1 second. As I get this out, let me put myself back on camera. Perfect. And let me show you what we got. So that's Tropical Depression 7, just formed as of the last update from the Hurricane Center. And you can see it looks pretty good on satellite. So here's visible satellite imagery showing you what's going on in the Atlantic. Not much activity, but there's Tropical Depression 7, TD7. And you can see it's starting to gain some momentum. It's moving to the west at 14 miles an hour. Pressure still pretty high for a storm, but given that's a depression and it's near storm strength, it's almost there, but still, despite that, winds are at 35 miles an hour. It's east of the Lesser Antilles Islands in the Caribbean Sea. And that's visible satellite. Let me show you a better look. This is infrared, showing you the cold cloud tops aloft. So the more vibrant the colors are around these thunderstorms, around the center of circulation, the stronger the thunderstorm is, the higher it is in the atmosphere. So that's what you're seeing, those dark red and pink and white colors around the center of Tropical Depression 7 are indicating pretty intense thunderstorms, primarily on that eastern side. It's not a lot. Matter of fact, the west side of Tropical Depression 7 is very dry. That's what's kind of inhibiting and hindering its strengthening right now. It's probably interacting with a little bit of wind shear and some dust out there, but let me verify that. I need to go look and see how much wind shear is in the eastern or the western Atlantic right now. So give me a second as I pull up this interesting information. Let me see tropics, SSC, let's see. All right, perfect. So again, if you're just joining us, guys, quiet weather in the forecast for San Antonio. There will be a unusual high amount of ozone around San Antonio today. So if you're sensitive to that, if you suffer from asthma or COPD, emphysema, things like that, you're gonna want to limit time outdoors today for San Antonio. Otherwise, quiet, hot, and highs near 93 for the city. And we are looking at the tropics. So here is what we're looking at. That is the Tropical Depression 7, if you're just joining us. And I want to look at the wind shear. And right now in the Western Atlantic, it's pretty, no, so let me go to a different area actually. So let's go to here, winds analysis, wind shear. Perfect, perfect. So wind shear around that tropical depression, it's actually not too bad. On the north side, it's pretty fast. So I don't think it will strengthen rapidly, but the forecast does call for a tropical storm strengthening slightly in the next several days. As a matter of fact, here's the forecast cone. I'll zoom in on this and show you what we got. This is through Sunday, and it looks like it's going to move right through the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the Northern Caribbean Sea, and Hispaniola. So that's where it's moving through this weekend. But this forecast does call for tropical storm strength, not rapid intensification. And you can see on these forecast icons, max wind speeds are expected around 45 to 50 miles an hour. That's a low-end tropical storm in the Caribbean Sea later this weekend. So between now and next Sunday and next Monday, that's where this storm is forecast to kind of be. Of course, the particular path, the exact movement of this storm could change a little bit. It could drift farther south or north, and we'll see what happens. And before I get back to everything, I want to show you the spaghetti plots because everybody likes to see those, and it does give you an idea of where it may move. It doesn't give you an idea of how it'll strengthen, but it gives you an idea of where the movement of this storm will be. So here are the computer models. That's where it's expected to move. Some take it out in the open Atlantic, some take it near Cuba by next Wednesday, and some take it to the eastern Gulf and near Florida by next Wednesday. So that's the latest on that. Otherwise, pretty quiet in the Atlantic Ocean. And there is a look at all the storms that have been named this season, and it's not a lot. And you can see last storm was Hurricane Earl, Category 2 hurricane, and that has since fizzled out in the North Atlantic. All right, here's the 7-day forecast, everybody, and here's a look also at what traffic is doing. You can see a look at I-37 at Jones Avenue, pretty quiet. Same thing at Highway 90, no video there. 90 at Couples, here's 35 and 1604. Not too far from the Forum, and near Shirts and Converse, I-35 and 37. Pretty quiet conditions out there this morning, guys. No big traffic issues as of these last updates. And if you want to just take a look at the screen up here, you can always do that as well. But here's the 7-day, 93 today, 90s tomorrow. Tomorrow starts off that small low-end chance at a few coastal showers. Otherwise, quiet Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and highs rebound back into the middle to upper 90s by next Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So that's it for the forecast. We'll keep it on here for a little bit longer. Mary, how's the weather for Saturday? Yeah, so it looks pretty nice, partly to mostly cloudy, if not sunny, and highs near 94 on Saturday, and very similar for Sunday as well. If not, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all social media. I'll be out here for the next several hours. I'll be doing the noon show, so tune in then for the latest on local news and weather. Otherwise, make it a great Wednesday. And we are halfway through the work week. Again, the 7-day forecast stays pretty hot with just low-end chances at rain between tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. Only coastal showers will be more abundant, but some of them will be isolated here in San Antonio for the end of the work week, guys. All right, guys, happy Wednesday, and make it a great one.